Without further ado, I'd like to get into it. We're going to be talking about making the move to modern accounting this morning. As Amendra said, my name is Ian McDougall. I'm an account director here at Blackline. Joining me today is Svetlana Lonkarovich, who will be assisting with a view into the solution. We're really happy to be partnering with our friends at Octane and are pleased to support them in their conversations with you going forward. So, if there's one thing we can all likely agree on, it's that traditional manual accounting processes are just not sustainable. It's because the modern business environment is more demanding than ever on accounting. There's more compliance and regulatory oversight. There's more business model changes from digital disruption, and there's more demand for analytics and business partnering. The traditional manual accounting process it just drains too much resources, takes too much time, and creates unnecessary risk. In this example, Kim and Pat wasted 67 minutes of elapsed time when an automated dashboard would have given instant visibility into task status. Distractions like this are enormously time-consuming. So research is telling us that a distraction at work takes us an average of 23 minutes and 15 seconds to get our focus back on track. Time spent negotiating this manual bottleneck could be spent identifying exceptions to further mitigate risk, or perhaps working on some value-adding projects, or even partnering with another area of the business. Today, organizations spend over 10 working days a month on close processes. By adding automation and a bit of behavior change, this can be reduced by 30 to 40%. All up, in this example, Kim and Pat wasted 67 minutes of elapsed time when an automated dashboard would have given instant visibility into task status. Distractions like this are enormously time-consuming. So research is telling us that a distraction at work takes us an average of 23 minutes and 15 seconds to get our focus back on track. Time spent negotiating this manual bottleneck could be spent identifying exceptions to further mitigate risk, or perhaps working on some value-adding projects, or even partnering with another area of the business. Today, organizations spend over 10 working days a month on close processes. By adding automation and a bit of behavior change, this can be reduced by 30 to 40%. Beyond financial statement accuracy, processes that are too reliant on human intervention raise the spectre of fraud, and manual accounting is usually a factor. Dependencies on spreadsheets and other files that can be altered allow too much manual control over things like journal entries and adjustments. In fact, there's an 80 to 90% higher incidence of fraud in organizations with material weaknesses. Thirdly, it's costly. And with so many organizations having a high degree of manual accounting, reducing the cost of accounting operations is critical. The average cost to run a finance and accounting team varies significantly across industries and company size. Regardless, there remains a significant difference between bottom performers and top performers. The best achieve around 3 times the efficiency of those at the bottom of their cohort, typically due to automation, standardization, and centralization. Blockers to talent hamper the ability of organizations to execute new business initiatives. Manual processes reduce employee engagement, lower productivity, and ultimately decrease the value each employee is able to drive for the organization. Conversely, accountants who are enthusiastic to use the latest technology or are looking to rethink and reinvent business processes, susceptible to be lured away when they're bogged down with manually matching transactions or extracting data from their ERP into spreadsheets or manually entering journals. A recent poll showed that a disengaged employee can cost the business 34% per annum in productivity. That equates to $28,900 a year for an accountant on an $85,000 salary. So Aviva recognized that they were struggling to retain talent, and they found by implementing Blackline, they were able to streamline processes and reduce the workload of their overtaxed staff. So how do these 4 problems affect you? As you've heard, pains felt by frontline staff are directly related to pains for management and in turn the business. Too many disparate systems prevent you from seeing where you stand in the close. Non-uniform processes lead to a control risk. Detail-heavy spreadsheets increase the likelihood of mistakes and escalate your risk of financial inaccuracy. Manual effort keeps your team spending a disproportionate amount of time on work that's repetitive, and there's not enough time for those analytical activities that they really want to sink their teeth into. Taken together, this creates a disengaged workforce, threatening your ability to retain and attract top talent. So, modern accounting is unified, meaning that your systems and data are integrated for a single source of the truth, and your processes are standardized for consistency, efficiency, and control. Modern accounting is automated. You can reduce the time you spend on what you might characterize as busy work by automating your manual, repetitive activities so that you can free your team to focus on strategic objectives that matter most to the C-suite. Modern accounting is continuous. We can execute accounting as it happens and deliver real-time information and analysis to inform decisions. So Blackline's platform removes the silos and visibility barriers to create a collaborative environment to complete the close. So I'm now delighted to introduce Svetlana, who will show us how Blackline's platform is uniquely positioned to deliver modern accounting to your organization.
Workflow status. So Blackline is automating as much as possible. And one of the things that it's taking in a unified platform is information from your finance systems, such as your trial balance, and loading it in so that your organization is able to start work from the moment they log in. So this is their workspace and they're presented with what they need to do. We've also got measures based on due dates, and we use color coding to alert individuals to what they should focus on. So the dashboard is really focusing individuals on where they need to work today. They're not spending any time looking for paperwork, documents or comments and trying to find out what's going on. We also have other key performance indicators for managers who may want to look at the health of the organisation. So let's just say we've got a shared service set up and we've got tasks that have been assigned to multiple different organisational business units, but one person's in charge. So from the very beginning, I can actually see what hasn't been prepared for each of those organisations. These dashboards are configurable to any organisation and based on whatever KPIs they want to address. Another KPI is aging open adjustments by accounts. So Ian mentioned Coca-Cola and a couple of other organisations that once they introduced Blackline, they did reduce risk and they improved the efficiency for their teams. But one thing that they got to see straight away is the age of their open item adjustments as individuals were reconciling accounts. So we always get bogged down with month end, and sometimes we just don't have time to close out the open item adjustments, and they carry forward and then they age. Now, one of our organisations was able to get an immediate ROI the moment they switched Blackline on, and they could see, they could identify an aged open item that sat in a bucket well above 365 days. With our reports, we have delivered reports, and we also have the ability to produce a reconciliation status report, if you like, especially as we lead up to our audit. And we've also got the ability to make sure that we can have a remote audit. So we're always on top of all the movement within our organisation, and we are addressing issues as they occur as you begin your journey with Blackline. So Blackline is a workplace for our accountants, but it's also a community that shares better business processes and improvements, and we also have quite a few seminars available. Basically, any ideas that our customers suggest gets put back into the solution. So it is truly a solution that is adopted and made for the accounting team or the finance team organisation. They're stored in one place. So any documentation regarding tasks or reconciliations, we can put them in one place. And as your finance team complete their tasks, they're able to add comments, add documents and hyperlinks. And once they certify that task, there are no changes. So there is no risk of error. they can't make any changes. And then when we are being audited, our auditors can see what has been certified and they have access to all the information around the work that was completed.
You could be doing. So finally, I'll leave you with this. So Blackline is a truly global organization. We've helped over 3,200 customers worldwide move from, current state to modern accounting by enabling them to do their accounting work better, faster, and with more control. So over 200 of these customers are supported by our local offices across Australia and New Zealand. We've been recognized by Gartner as a leader in our category for 4 years in a row. In fact, Gartner says that Blackline is in the highest quartile for customer experience and overall product capabilities.